Terrorize my dad in Super Mario Bros. Listen to Watch the Throne by Kanye and Jay-Z. And when we were older, get hammered and reminisce on old times by watching sports highlights and Macklemore music videos. But my favorite memories were when we turned our bedroom floor into a battlefield consisting of Legos, army men, and farm animals. However, the one thing he didn't share with me was his Lego Stormtrooper minifigures. He forbade me from using them until I was 11 years old. I remember vividly when he gave them to me, he said, "Close your eyes." And when I opened them, there were 4 in his hand. He looked at me and said, "They're all yours now." To me, it was equivalent to getting handed the keys to your first car. I was ecstatic. But I want to remind you, he didn't let me touch them until I was 11. At this time in my life, my voice was starting to go down a couple of octaves. I was starting to shave, and I'm pretty sure I knew a couple of people who were drooling. Oh, and this is also the age you're allowed to play with Lego Stormtroopers, even though they say 4+ on the box. But nonetheless, I was hyped to have them in my possession because I knew how much he loved them. And to this day, they're sitting on my shelf at home. The best part about our relationship is that Evan was born first. Therefore, I learned how to go through life without getting in trouble by pretty much doing the opposite of what he did. I'm kidding. But actually, I did learn lots from Evan. And he has always been there for me. And I don't tell him that enough. He would put in the effort to call me whenever he could, no matter where he was in the world. He always included me in everything he did, even with his friends. Those 2 tables in the back can vouch for that. I always felt included in what he was doing, and that meant everything. I realized that Evan never really saw me as his little brother. He saw me as his best friend. Even though I'm 5.5 years younger, he never treated me any differently. He acted the same around me as he did with anyone else, and I always appreciate that. He talked to me about everything, even before I fully understood what some of it meant. Later on, when I found myself in similar situations, I was lucky to already know what to do because of him. In addition, he introduced me to many of the things that I love today. The Laser by Don't Blink. Every Word to Otis by Kanye, a song I would later name my cat after. Running, working out, skiing. Hell, I didn't realize all the things that he helped me love until I actually started thinking about it. So I want to thank him for that. But I don't want all of this to get to your head. No one's perfect, and that's where Lucia comes into play. I met Lucia when I was in freshman year of high school. And one of my first memories with her is when Evan thought it was a good idea to bring me to a bar at 14 years old. Obviously, it did not work out, and I did not get in. So instead of all of us going somewhere else, Evan just goes in the bar and makes Lucia deal with me for the rest of the day. I personally would have been so pissed if my girlfriend just left me with her little sister for a night. I have no idea why you were willing to do that. But
I didn't go to the bar either.
but it's things like these that show how much Lucia cares. And if she's willing to take care of her boyfriend's little brother when they just recently started dating, that shows how much Lucia cared from the very start. But the memory that meant the most to me, and still to this day, is when I just started college. To preface, I just flew across the country. I was having a terrible time transitioning at my college. Luckily, I'm loving it now. But at this time, I didn't have many friends. I would stay at home alone. And Evan calls me one night after we went out in Indonesia. And he's like, "Dude, you need to be going to the coolest parties. Like, you gotta be doing all this cool stuff." And I'm like, trust me, I wish I could be doing that. And he keeps yapping about this. So naturally, I hang up the phone. I call Lucia and I'm like, "Your boyfriend is being a piece of shit." I explained to her everything, and I kid you not, she hangs up and goes, "1 sec," hangs up the phone, calls me back like 2 minutes later, and she goes, "Okay, I handled it. Expect a text in the morning." And sure enough, I received a long apology text in the morning from Evan. But, so yeah, Evan is not perfect, but somehow we found someone. But somehow he found someone that makes him pretty close to. Lucia, you're the best thing that's ever happened to him, and you've officially taken over the role of keeping him in line, a job I'm sure a number of us have been trying to quit for years. I couldn't be happier for you two, and I wish the best of luck on your next chapter in life. I'm especially excited that you guys will be on the East Coast, and you have to come back to Boston to run back the bender of a lifetime. Evan, I think now that you're married, you're at the right age to be able to play with a little bit more advanced version of Lego Luke Skywalker. So with that, let's raise our glasses to Evan and Lucia. May your life be full of love, laughter, and a few more legendary nights we will never forget. Lou cheers.